Okay, welcome back to messing about with Rovers. Slightly odd video this, it might be quite a short video. Basically, this weekend coming up is the NEC Classic and Restoration show. I'm taking this Rover V8s, and yes, it is a proper, genuine V8s in Midas gold with the gold wheels, and even rarer is it has a manual gearbox. If you've watched some of my other videos, you might have seen glimpses of this car, but I've never really done videos on it because it's like my car, and I don't know, just thought it would ruin it if I did videos on this car already. But the Classic Restoration show is a bit different to the normal NEC Classic because it's a smaller show, only 2 halls, not 5. And people are encouraged to work on their cars and not just sit there and polish it for 3 days. When I bought this car, I knew the gearbox was knackered. The previous owner told me it was knackered, and what he'd done is actually put a TR7 gearbox in it, which is this one here. So it is an LT77, but it is also knackered. But he gave me the original gearbox for the car, the correct part number and everything. So my plan is at the show to take this gearbox out and put the newly rebuilt original gearbox back in it. Obviously that is quite a challenge if you're driving the car about 220 miles to get to the show, and then you're planning on driving 220 miles back again. So in anticipation that things will go wrong, there will be bolts rounded off, and I've already found a problem bolt up. Well, there's quite a few. That manifold stud up there, the one at the bottom of the image now, that isn't the right sort of stud, so something funny's gone on there. I think somebody might have put a plain bolt right the way through the cast manifold. And then on this side we've got a snapped stud up there, so that I don't know whether I'll be able to replace it in time for the show, or whether I'll just have to deal with it. You don't actually need to drop the manifolds, or the downpipe, sorry, to get the box out. You do need to separate it here and take the Y piece out from the rest of the system down there. But anyway, we're going to do that and get everything ready and make sure I can undo those at the show. Up here we have the prop. I just want to make sure that those aren't done up silly tight. You can see somebody's been in this and already fitted the selector housing with poly bushes, which is good. The rear gearbox mount has completely collapsed and spat itself out the little holes. The donut bushes between the cross member and the underside of the gearbox, they've all done what they normally do, which is swell up and turn to jelly. They go all squidgy and weird like that, which isn't good. But yeah, I'm basically going to put a spanner on absolutely everything, write down on my piece of paper what socket I need, what extensions, what tools, so I can go to the show and hopefully not have a massive mare. This engine and gearbox will be coming out of this car, because although they're good, I do need to do some welding on it because it's had lots of really ugly repairs. So although it's solid, it ain't pretty, and my plan is take the engine and box out another time, take that sill off, rebuild all of this right the way up to there, and then put it all back together again. But that is a long involved job, and yes, with the manifold and gearbox out of the way I would have much better access, but really it's a whole engine out job. But I'm not going to do that now, just gonna go through, write down the tools I need, pack it all away, and then go to the show. Making progress. I've taken the near side downpipe off the manifold. You don't actually need to do that to change the gearbox, but it does make accessing some of the bell housing bolts this side very much easier. Most are okay, but there's a couple right over the top which are a real pain in the bum, and you can normally get to them if you drop the rear gearbox mount and you lower the whole rear of the gearbox down, and then there's additional clearance between the top of the gearbox and the underside of the transmission tunnel, and you can get a really long extension up to them. The problem being on this car, because it's got aircon and quite a few other bits and pieces on the back, as you rotate the gearbox down at the back, the top of the cylinder heads and all of that stuff impacts into the bulkhead panel, so I don't really want to do that. So I might just see how difficult it is to get these ones off and then take this manifold off as well, and then I should have good access from both sides. I'm also going to go look through my bits and pieces because some of these downpipes look a bit suspect, and so does, like, the wide pipe's okay because it's stainless, but that resonator's a bit crappy, and the rest of the system at the back is a bit homebrew. So I know I've got bits of stainless steel exhaust system in stock, so I'm going to go and have a look and see if I've got enough to fit a whole stainless to this. Whether I do that now or at the show or another time, I don't know, but we'll have an experiment. Kinda not too sure how far to go with this. Those two studs actually clean up okay. That one is, where are we? That one there, perfect. This one, although it looks a bit chewed, it takes a nut perfectly. That one had an M6 bolt through it because obviously someone's had a problem and they've either drilled out the old stud or pulled the other stud out, didn't have a new one, and then just put an M6 bolt through. I'm going to go and get a tap and tap that out M8 again, and then see if I could just fit a new stud, because then that side will be perfect. This side, two studs, great, apart from that is cracked there. That's not a big deal. It ain't going to pull out. It's just the way it is. I think that stud's been replaced. That one possibly has also been replaced. This here is our biggest problem. It's a sheared stud. Somebody's left it like that, which means it's probably well in the casting. I'm going to go and get my map gas and heat that up damn hot, and then put a pair of roll grips on and see if I can get it out. If I can't, I might MIG weld onto it, because I don't want to leave that like there. Sorry, don't want to leave that like that, because it'll just piss me off. So that needs addressing. And I'll go and look through my bins and see what other stainless bits I've got, because I might do a dummy mounting of the whole system, because sometimes when you're putting together exhaust parts, they don't all fit nicely together, particularly when they're a bit, you know, come off different cars at different times. But I'll go and have a look what I've got, and then I can pre-order all the gaskets I need to take with me. But you might be thinking, well, is he going to do the clutch at the same time? I'm not going to, because the previous owner, Steve, had already done the clutch. So in there is a brand new clutch. He replaced the slave. I think he did the master, and he fitted a braided line as well. So the clutch side of things has never been a problem. It works really nice bite point, nice and controllable. So that aspect I'm not going to do. You might think, well, you should do the main seal while you're under there because it's leaking oil, and you're correct. I probably should, but I know that the car is the engine's coming out at some point in the not too distant future, so I'm quite happy to tolerate a little bit of weepage on these V8s. You can do the seal just pulling it out of the rear main bearing cover, but really you should take the sump off, drop the main cap to get the seal on and off, and I can't be bothered to do that at the show, so that's why I'm not doing that. And it also means I don't have to fanny around self-center or like centering the clutch and doing any of that kind of crap. So I am going to go get the map gas, heat that up, put some grips on it, see if it comes out. Go get my M8 tap to tap that out. Find a stud or order one if I don't have one, and then get stainless steel exhaust parts. Right. First method for trying to get that stud out is going to be double nut. So I'll heat that up. I'll still do the heat first because that always helps. Heat it up, screw one knot on, next nut on top, and then try and unwind the first nut, and hopefully that pulls it out. Got the map gas, which is hotter than propane, so we'll try and get that on the go without cooking my clutch lines, my brake lines, or my engine. But exhausts get hot anyway, so hopefully it won't be too badly. Put it that way. That did get very hot. I won't say it got pink because it didn't, because the map gas wasn't on there to fall off. I have put two nuts on. Let's see what happens. Oh, no. Alright, that one moved, but it didn't turn the stud, I don't think. Or I didn't see it turn the stud. Oh, come here, you bitch. Oh, there we go. Oh, damn it. No, it's just moving both nuts together. Right, I'm going to torque that nut back up onto that one again, and hopefully it will do something. Oh, damn it. Right, hold on. This is going to be a two-handed job. Yeah, that didn't work. So I'm going to go and get my welder and try and weld the stud to this nut, and then hopefully can unwind it. Welding upside down under a car without welding up the nut so you can't get the thing back on it, it's a bit of a twat to do. In fact, I might try mole grips first, because if it comes out with them, great. I doubt it will, because I already had a lot of torque, but I'm at the stage now where I don't care about wrecking the thread with the mole grips. We have one welder, one very knackered helmet, some annoyingly bright LED lights. Hold on. I've set it sort of, well, problem welding like this, when you aren't able to test exactly what current you need and all the rest of it, is you're very much guessing. So I've done it sort of slightly higher than middle range on my little welder. Disconnected the battery, obviously. I'm going to snot it and just hope that I don't go too far over the sides of the nut so that I can't get a socket on, and yet to have enough heat on there for long enough to get good penetration into that stud, because I'm welding upside down, so the danger is that the pool of weld will want to run off and come down here. So I'm going to start this side. In fact, I could start this side and then work up into the side and keep the heat there for longer. In fact, I'll probably do that. Right, so I'll put my gloves down. Wish me luck. Well, it's glowing red, and I didn't go over the sides too badly. Ouch. My phone is saying autofocus lock, so I don't know what that means. Yeah, so it's chuffing hot still. I'll put a socket on it while it is still hot and see what happens. I think that's the torque going into twisting the stud as if it's going to shear off rather than actually turning. We'll have another go. Oh, come on, you dick. Oh, I don't know. No, shit. Cock. I could try another nut, I suppose. Might as well while I'm here with the welder. Just welded another M8 nut on there. Again, you can see how the molten pool wanted to go south, like drop down. So I had to cut the weld, but it is chuffing hot, so I'm gonna have another go with the socket and see if it comes off. It probably won't, probably just shear it again, but you never know. If you watch Matt Furious Driving channel, you know perseverance is what you need doing these kind of jobs. Yeah, this is going to be another shear, I think, and I'm going to put the camera down. I spoke too soon. Unbelievably, that, ladies and gentlemen, is working. I can feel it. It doesn't feel like it wants to shear. You can actually feel like, I've screwed my camera up. Come on. Basically, it is working. Hold on. Oh, motherfucker. It wasn't. Basically, I didn't get enough penetration into the stud, so I've just literally ripped the head of the bolt off again. Right, stuff the welding, I'm going to drill it and then tap it. So I'm just starting drilling. I've just put a tiny little dimple in there, and I'll take my time trying to make sure that I am actually going up through the centre. I'm starting off with about what's that, 2.5, 3 mil size, little one, and then I'll go up bigger to tapping size, which is probably, what would it be? I don't know, 7 mil, something like that for M8. Great success. I've managed to drill all the way through with the 3 mil drill, so now I'm going to step it up a couple of sizes, do it again, tap it out, tap that one out, we should be good. I don't always mean to blow my own trumpet, but considering the length of remaining stud I was drilling out, to land that perfectly in the middle, pretty good damn impressive. So I'm calling that result. I've got now that is 6.5 mil. And then once, I don't actually know what the correct drilling size is for an M8 by 1.25, but then I've got 2 taps. They are both the same thread pitch, but one is a taper tip one, and then the other one is like the plug one. So the one on the left goes through first, and then the one on the right afterwards with my little tapping tool, and then hopefully we'll have a thread that I can put a new stud in. And I have found some studs, I just haven't got them in front of me now. So a bit more drilling, a bit of tapping over there, and some stud adding. Okay, we have had lots of successes. That is now tapped out M8 by 1.5, as is that one there. And now I've got some spare studs I found, so they can go in. The one thing I will need to check is that once that is on, can I actually still get the manifold on? Because sometimes if you haven't drilled the holes right, you go to fit the manifold and it doesn't fit because you can't get these bits over the studs. So I'll just need to double check that. Yeah, that one will be all fine. So I need to check the other one, and also this, because this has been drilled out big, there's not enough of a bulge there to stop this bottoming out in that. So I'll either need to build that up with weld or find another stud, but I'll worry about that in a minute. At least I've got a tapped hole that I can go into, and the same over here. So that stud fits nicely. I just need to wind it in a bit more, and I've double checked that I can get the manifold over it. I'm going to buy another better stud for the other side because I'm not happy with this shite one, because where stud should work is that bit, the unthreaded part should be thicker than the threaded part, so when you screw it in, it stops there. Whereas this is undersized, so of course you can screw the whole stud through the casting, which is utterly pointless. I don't know why I've got them, but they're, well, a bit waz. This side, I have got my die set. I'm just going to assemble that. I've had to take the long-eared handles off because I haven't got enough room to rotate it, but I'm going to clean these up and then I'll go and get all the stainless exhaust bits. Well, very heavy rain stopped play yesterday, but this is my collection. Not my full collection, there is still stuff around my dad's place, but this is my collection of stainless steel parts, and not all of it is compatible with each other, because some has, this is mild, but it's just because it's still bolted to a stainless midsection thing. But yeah, some have flanges on the ends, some are like the crimp type ones, like that kind of union. And then at the front ends they also have different types of fittings. So some are formed already with a dome, so you don't need a compression washer thing. Others are open. Now we have different downpipes, but basically there's enough there for me to play with. I think I'll probably go, these are the two different tailpipe styles. straight, and then the swept one. The swept one is because on SD1s, the vortex is behind the car, recirculate the exhaust gases. They get trapped behind the back of the car and go up through the rear vents and basically poison you. So that's why SD1s have the S-bend. So I'll probably go with the S-bend, that middle section, which is an old Rimmer Brothers, supposedly stainless, but they don't seem to be properly stainless. The cans are stainless, but this is kind of marginal stainless. Through to a Y piece there, and then I pick a pair of downpipes. Right, I'm off down the Motor Factors to buy more clamps, exhaust rubbers and stuff. I've found in my stores a couple of cotton reel mounts for the gearbox, O-rings that go between the top of these and the cast manifolds, a new bushing for the gearbox cross member, and another spare bolt and big fat washer, because I don't think the ones on the car are correct. So really that's all I'm going to say for the moment. So yeah, it's the Classic and Restoration show at the NEC on, I can't remember the date, 18th, 19th and 20th of March, something like that, Friday, Saturday and Sunday. So I shall be taking this one, and I'll be on the Rover SD1 stand, and maybe some of you will turn up, which would be nice. See you later.